Welcome everybody. Today is February 23rd, 2026. This is the Village of Hannah City Council meeting. Everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Michael, can you unmute and tell us what you're here for? Michael, can you hear us? Michael, please let us know what you're here for. We'll have to remove you from the forum. Participants.
Right hand corner, maybe. What's the shape of Italy, Michael? Boo.
Michael, last warning. Okay. No response, please remove. Everybody should have a copy of our February 9th, 2026 meeting minutes. They were done up so nicely.
Can't unuse it.
What?
For my proofreading.
I think it was just stand.
Oh, thank you.
Make a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes as submitted.
Second.
Motion by Pearson, second by Side. Any further discussion, comments, changes, or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Of course, we all know that we have been looking at getting new engineer. Oh, did I miss that? I always do that.
How's it going?
Okay, treasurer's report first.
Light treasurer's report this week. There were only 11 checks. The only thing out of the ordinary was the bill from Philip Salmi for the work to file the paperwork for our federal rebates for the solar loan. And that was $1,800. But other than that, everything else was pretty standard.
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report and pay all outstanding debts.
Second.
Pearson, Sidak, just beat your up. Any further discussions, comments? We'll roll call that. Weaver?
Yes.
Miller?
Yeah.
Pearson?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Sidak?
Yes.
Holt?
Yes.
Motion carries. Anything else, Ms. Cassandra?
Yeah, end of report.
Okay, as we know that we've been looking at looking to go through and do this on our vendors, including village engineer. So I can't even think of the whole name. What's the new name?
TWM. Did you guys get the email that I sent out about TWM?
Yeah, TWM.
You guys got the email?
Yep.
So Shanna says
told me that we don't actually have to have a village engineer. I mean, I think there's no statute that says we have to. We can use whoever we want for whatever we want. I think there's some advantages to having one. But, and then I put my thoughts in there about each group, and so
Yeah.
But I think the way the process works is Tony appoints who he thinks is the right one, and then you guys either accept or reject by vote. Did I get that right, Shanna?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I gotta remember that. I just not used to that name. So, look, nothing against Farnsworth. They've been very good to us. But again, I think we're a lot smaller than the normal customers. Not that we haven't had good work from them, from Joe and Brandon, and they've been awesome for the 14 years that I've been on the board as a trustee and as the mayor. So, I think TWM, having Caleb with them, is going to give us some insight. He knows what the board is looking for. And I think it's time to change it up a little bit and try it. So my recommendation would be that we go with TWM for a village engineer. That's my recommended appointment.
So Shanna, I assume somebody either needs to make a motion to accept or reject the mayor's appointment.
Yes.
Which motion?
To accept or
To
reject.
accept. Sorry, I thought that was explanatory. Sorry.
There's a motion by Chris Johnson to accept TWM as the village engineer based on my appointment.
I think right.
Do I have a second?
So we're still planning on keeping Farnsworth for the water tower,
Oh,
That was in the RFP.
Yeah.
but then hire the other company to do.
And they would be our
Anything
ongoing engineer, moving forward. But when we wrote the RFP, we made sure to make it clear that the water tower project would stay with Farnsworth, given all the work that they'd already done on it. Yeah, it did make sense to transition.
I'll second.
Second by Pearson. Any further discussion, comments?
Yes. This appointment. How long is this appointment going to be?
I think we can negotiate that one in the contract. So
And actually, I don't think we even have to negotiate a contract length.
I'm just saying that we will sign a contract with whoever we decide to have our engineer be, and then within that we can say we want it to be 3 to 5 years or 3 years or whatever we want it to be. I think we can spell that out.
Yeah.
Is that fair, Shanna?
Yes. That is fair.
Second question I have for you.
Go ahead.
It seems like we're going after TWM/Moore Kerr a little bit as a little bit of headhunting for Caleb. But what's our game plan if he goes away? Do we stick with them?
We would stick with them. I mean, if that's our current one, we'd stick with them. We try to, they're both local companies. So, we just wanted to look at going with, at the time, someone to be more personal within it, getting the responses that we needed in a more timely manner at times. Not to say that Brandon and Joe haven't done a bad job, but there have been times where we've waited for things. And Brian can attest to
That's
that.
not going to happen.
No, we don't.
We don't. Yeah. I mean, Caleb gets busy too, so.
And I think we're trying to save money, right?
I think there will be some of that. I mean, for me, the biggest thing is I don't know a lot about it, and I know some of you guys do on the engineering side, but I have a whole lot of trust in Caleb telling us what we need, not, what Farnsworth is trying to
Even what we don't need.
sell. Yeah, even though we don't need. Yeah.
So, I mean, in your email, Brian, you kind of stated your take on things, but can we put even ballpark on the dollar amount that we'd be recovering by switching, or is just
Yeah, we have not got into the rate structure side of things yet, because the way the process works, if I understand correctly from Shanna, it's you base it upon you make your decision based upon qualifications, rather than rate structure. She's nodding yes.
Yes.
So I haven't really looked that closely at the rate structure. I mean, I think it's going to be less. But the other thing I think is that I guess I don't know this for a fact, but Caleb and I will talk for 10 minutes on the phone, and I'm not going to get pulled for that. You know what I mean? I don't think. Like I said in my note, I think Farnsworth has broader capabilities, access to broader capabilities. And I think there's still big things that we may wind up using them on. And I've had that conversation with Caleb where we could maybe pull him in. But now that he's with TWM, though, they've got pretty broad capabilities as well now. So we may not need to do that. But to answer your question is I don't know. I can't tell you.
okay. When we talk about, maybe Shanna can answer this. When we talk about charging based off of the qualifications, what does that mean?
No, deciding based upon the qualifications rather than the rate structure.
Okay.
That'd be the same way as if we were going for a new lawyer. If we were going to get a new lawyer, we wouldn't do it based off of whatever their hourly rate is for this, and this. It would just be based on their qualifications.
Okay.
Right. And that's by statute that says, especially for those specific jobs that you're looking for that need professional services, engineers, land surveyors, attorneys, things like that. You need to not just go by the price, but you need to do it on a qualifications-based system.
And then fourth question, since we're keeping Farnsworth on for our water tower project, does anything about this agreement, or perhaps this is something we need to negotiate, would this be like an exclusive agreement where once we start new projects, we'd only be able to go with them, we couldn't go somewhere else?
I think it's like we do with Farnsworth today. We kind of just, if we have something where Brandon says, hey, that's not really our thing, or we're not the best at that, or you might be, then we go and use somebody else. But our starting point would be TWM, and then if Caleb directed us elsewhere, then or said there might be somebody better to handle it. But that didn't happen all that often with Farnsworth. I don't anticipate it happening all that often with Caleb and TWM either.
Do we have a contract with Farnsworth?
Farnsworth, yeah. I haven't dug it out, and it's old. I mean, it's like he said, he's been here, 21 years or whatever.
So do we pay, I guess, is there going to be an overlap of where we still have to pay them so much a month?
No, we don't pay.
It's just by the job, isn't it?
Yeah, right. By services. If you're not paying for them like a normal job, like mayor, you're just paying them as their professional services are rendered.
The other thing we've done just in the last couple of years is we don't have kind of a general engineering invoice that much anymore. If he comes to a meeting, it's usually because he's talking about a project, right? Where we used to just have an ongoing thing where they were at all the meetings and we paid for that. We don't really do that anymore. And when we do, they segment their billing out, and we'll ask TWM to do the same. But if it's general engineering, then we bill for that. But if it's a project, now we usually have budgeted for that money within the project, and we don't charge the general engineering piece for it anymore. We break it out so we know what we're paying for. So with them, we would continue to, if we have water tower things, we would still, get bills from Farnsworth on that. And then,
as needed, though.
Yeah, and the same thing will be true with Caleb. It'll be or TWM. If we need them, we'll use them, and if not, we won't.
And at some point, we may have a little overlap where we're using both of them. with the water tower going in and being put into service, and with Caleb's group doing the engineering for the rest of that village. As the water pressure increases, we're going to start popping leaks everywhere in town on some of the older lines. So we're going to have a little overlap where those two individuals will probably be working together too, a little bit.
Back to your point on timing, I mean, if you guys said, hey, we only want to do it for a year and try it and go from there, I'm sure we can talk to Caleb and have that built into the contract.
I'm curious what the other board members think. If we're going on just off of the presentations, I'm definitely leaning more toward Farnsworth. I think they had I was sold more on Farnsworth. All right. Looking at all the stuff they've done for us for the past 20 plus years, every time I've been thinking about it, I think about how easy Brandon has made our lives. Every time we have an engineering project or a question or some sort of interaction with the state, we just throw it at Brandon and Brian, and both of them, they take care of it. They've made engineering easy, in my opinion. But switching over to TWM, at least from the information I've been given, it almost sounds like a calculated risk to me. A lot of stuff we wouldn't know until we decided to appoint them.
I think we get better service out of Caleb because it's more personal. And me on a personal level,
Yeah.
If I'm gonna buy something from you, you get the same thing as some guy I don't know. I'm gonna buy something from you because I know you.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way I feel.
I think it's also worth noting at the end of the day, yes, they might have the same or similar qualifications, but there is an aspect to Caleb that you can't exactly say it's a qualification that he has above everyone else, because he knows the town, he knows the needs, he knows the little things that you don't get from an engineering degree. So I think at the end of the day, yes, it's more personable, but at the same time, it's kind of tailored to our small community. So it makes sense to me to follow that knowledge. So
I agree. I think one of our greatest losses when Caleb left was his expertise. But I'm a little concerned with just making sure that if we are going with TWM and we are going for Caleb, that Caleb sticks around.
I would have the same to say about Farnsworth as well. If we stick with them, it's for Brandon.
It's got to be Brandon, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the same risk there.
Yeah,
Right?
because I'm thinking Brandon's getting pretty close to retirement.
Yeah, if he's been out here 21 years already, so.
I mean, I think we'll be well served by either, to be honest with you. I don't think there's a wrong decision necessarily.
It's not rocket
I
science.
think the biggest thing probably was the way Farnsworth has a particular fee structure. So you get charged for a 1-minute conversation. You get charged for an email. And I think that's where we need to figure out and we won't know, maybe a year we need to.
I think there are guys, and Brandon, I think they feel pressured sometimes too to upsell or to, and not that those things aren't needed. They're not trying to sell us something, but like the sidewalk that I brought up, that's a great example where we didn't need the project engineering on that sidewalk. And
That was what, how much?
well, it started at 10 grand and then we got into the meeting and then all of a sudden it was 20 grand. And so that just set me back a little, right?
And that's something we did ourselves and saved us 20 grand. But no, it was never brought up that, hey, you could do this, have the guys go down there and do that.
And Rod would know that, whether we would need that or not, but I don't. And that's why I feel, and again, that's why we have Rod on the board, because he can give us that kind of insight. But I think Caleb will tell us how you don't need that or you do need that. So right now, here's a good example is we're looking at the grading plan for the new building, and they brought up some things about, that they think there's going to be a problem, that we might need to do some soil testing and that kind of stuff. And I know if I go to Caleb and go, do you really, think we have to do that and we have to put in these dry wells and then it could be expensive, he's going to tell me yes, Brian, or no, Brian, and I'm going to feel pretty comfortable about that.
Who's saying we need soil testing?
The guy who's doing the grading plan for the site plan. Caleb hasn't weighed in yet, and we haven't made any decisions. But they're afraid that we're going to have standing water based upon the way they're building the grading plan. And Roger and I feel like we can go ahead and just do it and see where it's at. And if we have a problem later, we can put in some field tile and direct the water where we want it to go. And I haven't had that conversation with Caleb yet because I just got an email this afternoon. So.
I think if we do go with TWM, I would feel more comfortable if we opt for more of a probationary contract rather than saying this is our village engineer now. Whatever the year, 2 years to see how it works out for the village.
I don't have any problem with that. I don't have any problem with either one of them, to be honest with you. I mean, like I said, we'll be well served regardless. I do think there is something about change and fresh eyes that has some value, but I'm not, in my note, I didn't really push hard for one or the other because I think both will do fine.
Any other comments, concerns, questions? So with the changes, I would like to restate of appointing TWM, make a motion to appoint TWM as the village engineer for a year. As per the board's request, to allow them to see how they work, and then at that point, if we would like to continue, then we could continue. So, what? Since I already got the first and second, Shauna, on the first, can I amend that before we do a roll call?
Yeah, I think you can.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I didn't want anybody coming back and
I
saying.
think the first and second are okay with the amendment.
Yeah. Well, it has to be restated. So restated, and then you guys need a motion.
Yeah.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussions? Everybody understands what we're voting on? Then we'll roll call it. Miller?
Yeah.
Pearson?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Sidak?
Yes.
Holt?
Yes.
And Weaver?
Yes.
I would like to say, please stress to Brandon specifically, like, this is nothing against him personally. He's been amazing.
Yep.
And I know he will take a little bit of personal harshness with it, and we don't mean anything by that at all. He's a great guy, does a great job, and I look forward to continue working with him.
Yeah, it's a unique set of circumstances, I think, that kind of put us here, right? But I've told him that multiple times, but I'll tell him again. And he'll be fine. He'll be all right.
Yeah. Are you gonna call him?
Yeah.
We're going to have plenty of time because the water tower could be stretched out another year and a half, 2 years. And by that time, the contract's going to be void and we'll be talking about it again potentially. So,
Hey, you never know. Stranger things have happened. So. Nothing else in engineering. So attorney's report.
Okay, well, we've been working on a lot. We finished Title V. As you see in the agenda, it's ready to be adopted and enacted tonight. We did make a few changes, just tightened up some language, put in some extra definitions. The body of it is still pretty much the same. All of the subject matter is still covered in there. We just wanted to make sure that as we read through it, thought, well, we can tighten this up a little bit just to protect the village. So that is done and ready to be voted on, and we've started working on Title II.
We set a vote date on that for the last meeting on this fiscal year, the 27th. So if we get that approved that night, the code book will officially be revised.
nice.
Thank the Lord.
And I know you're probably have your, like, the person who's doing your zoning map is going to give you like the uses and what's included in each district.
Yeah, I've asked him to have that done no later than April 1st so that we can incorporate it, and then you can look at it and see if you've got any additional questions or if there's continuity problems or anything like that.
Okay. And Cassandra got the new building codes and amendments filed with the CDB. So that's good because they give us 30 days before we can enact it. So we should be great on time for that. And then the Illinois American water rate hike case before the ICC, they finally did give it a docket number and posted it on the ICC's website. So I had a question to the board. We can file a petition to intervene, which means, and we can tell them that we would like to be an active party. Therefore, we get party status. So we get all the notifications, we can file briefs, we can cross-examine witnesses, we can file
testimony. Yeah.
All of that. So I didn't want to do that until you guys had okayed it. Right now, as I checked on the docket, no one else has filed a petition. The only person who has filed is the attorney for Illinois American Water.
Oh, there was one out there. I think it was Schaumburg.
Okay, so that must be new since I looked at it earlier. Because they put it up like February 19th, and I looked that day, and it was only Illinois American. So
yeah, I think it was like Friday. I think it was Friday. I looked at it.
Okay.
Friday or Saturday, I looked at it when I noticed the email. I believe it was the city of Schaumburg. And then there's also a lot of places where people can go out there. There's a site where within that docket system that people can go and complain to the ICC about it. So.
Okay.
I guess, Shannon, one question I would have is, obviously, we need to do something, I guess, but any feel for the value? I mean, will it, do we just get a pat on the head and they go off and do what they're going to do anyway? Or do you think there's a legitimate chance that we could be heard? And then my second question would be, is there a way to rally other towns and go in as a group?
Didn't we send a letter the last time?
We did. And I know last time we encouraged people in the community to write in, and
did we send one to the congressman?
We did.
So yeah, I think we need.
They've clearly got a pattern: 2003, 2005, and now 2023, 25, and now 27.
Right.
Now it's been getting lower every year, but they clearly, I think, have a plan to do it every other year.
I mean,
does this cost us anything to do this?
Yeah, I mean, there'll be some legal fees, right, Shanna?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, there would be legal fees. And if I would have to go, like if we want to cross-examine or put an expert on, then that would involve me doing that as well. They do hold public forums as well. So if residents want to go to the public forums and just want to be heard that way, there is that option. As far as the petition to intervene, anytime once you submit that petition, you have to accept the record as it is at that time. So if nobody else has filed a lot of things, it's to your advantage to file earlier, but you can file later. Like, you don't have to decide tonight. If you want to talk it over, think about it, we can file it later. If you have some experts in mind that you want, be brought before the commission and things like that. So
nice to have it on the record that our prices went up 70% roughly over the last 5 years.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The village of Bolingbrook. Sean was They filed on the 20th.
Okay.
Did their appearance.
I don't have strong feelings one way or the other.
I think we should at least send some kind of letter.
I ain't
Minimum.
saying just doing it for optics. I don't know that we would do any witnesses or experts or anything, but more as just like a unified front of, yeah, we're in this with you.
Yeah.
Or if to show that we're actually trying to do something.
Yeah. Or
There's value in that, I think.
We can even post on the page that please contact, that whatever the information is to, say
Last
that
time we
you're
did it-
opposed this.
Last time we did a
Increase.
push notification with a link to where people could write in. I don't know if anybody did or not.
Here is the regional president's phone number. Please call them.
I do think we have an obligation to advocate for our financial well-being of our residents. So I'm all for it. I don't know how in depth we have to be with like a, I'm all for like a letter. I'm all for something. I do think that we need to, make an effort because 70% or more in 3 years is ridiculous. In my
I
opinion.
saw a discussion of, I think it was Germantown residents, because they don't own their water. Illinois American owns it.
Illinois American doesn't, that Cattrall Water does.
Okay, maybe it wasn't Germantown. It was another local community who sold their rights to Illinois American a few years ago, and now all the residents are, they were saying they're paying $200 a month and it was $40 a month.
Farmington.
And they don't have any voice now because that's just who they're getting it from. So yeah, I agree. Even it's just a way to raise the sword and head into battle.
So Shauna, does that need a motion and a vote, or if the board is just saying they want to do it? Then
What's the ballpark of what it would cost us to do that?
Well, we'd have to pay her to.
Shauna, any idea what the legal fees would be just to file the original thing? And I guess that's not a ton of money, I wouldn't think.
Yeah. To get the petition, and I don't know if they have filing fees or not. I'm sure they have something. But to get the petition together, that wouldn't take long. So that wouldn't be, I'd say probably no more than an hour.
Does this happen in Springfield or where does this happen?
Chicago. Yeah. I can give you the home address to everybody on the ICC board.
Yes. Let's put that up. Just put that out there.
Pitchforks,
Send them cat litter.
torches.
Send Calvin.
Yeah, it's all out there. It's all out there on their website. There's
So Shannon, do we need a motion and a vote, or if we just say yeah, we do it, are we good enough?
We shouldn't need a vote on that. It's less than 500 to do it, so to initialize it.
I think I'm hearing.
So does everybody agree that we would like her to go ahead and file notice with the ICC?
Give them out.
Okay, you have your marching orders, huh?
Shannon, what are we actually filing?
It's called a petition to intervene, and it lets them know what our interest is in the case, that we would like to become an active party, which means we would get filings, which means we could also submit those other things that I mentioned earlier if we wanted to, and that no one else can represent us as completely as us. That's why we want to intervene and become an active party.
Talking to other communities and asking them to do the same, correct?
Yeah, I think you could. Everybody's going to get the same hike coming. I have not heard if any other municipalities are
Well, the
going
way
to file anything or.
county and see, I don't know. It's just a thought. The more, the better, probably.
Probably. And with Bolingbrook already filing something, they probably will be doing a lot more than we probably would, just because.
Yeah. Village of Bolingbrook is pretty big.
Okay.
And it's just a two-page appearance notification. The state of Illinois, ICC.
Yeah, we want a letter of opposement. to the fee increase because we have not benefited from any of their updates.
Yeah, I mean, there's,
And we still have PFAS in our water. And we got nothing for that.
Zach roll.
Am I done?
You were the PFAS
PFAS.
guy last time.
Yeah,
I
that
said, yeah.
pissed me off.
And I will send you a copy once the petition's done, just for you to look it over and see. And then if you decide you don't want me to file it, then you can always let me know that as well.
Now, will you write that strongly worded letter or do we write the letter? Like to send to the ICC?
Oh, I mean, you probably could. I was going to do the petition to intervene, which means we can do a lot of things, but I think every little bit.
Here, we'll see if we can't dig out the communications from last time. Yeah, we probably have that stuff already written.
And then other than that's all I have on the attorney's report.
thank you, Sean.
Mhm.
Okay. Mr. Baylor, sorry, sir.
So I don't have financials, and here's why. When we got to the cash portion of doing the project, doing the work for the month, we were off on our cash for general, we were off for water, and we were off for sewer, meaning our revenue expense said we made 2,000, but our cash was saying we lost 5,000. So we were confused, and Cassandra found the sewer one and what the problem was there, so we got it corrected. And then we ended up going to having Nicole, the accountant from Locus, do a cash reconciliation on the other two. The water one was pretty simple, but the general one, the issue we found was there was a, I don't know if you call it a script, or there was something in the...
It's a due from. So basically when you write a check out of one fund, it reimburses the general fund because we write the check out of that pool of money, and it was set up as if we still had separate bank accounts. So it literally thought we had to transfer the money.
Okay.
So it took it out of general instead of taking it out of the other pot.
So it had us off. That covered we were off of about 11,000. I think that covered 7 or 8 of that 11,000. So I don't finish doing the reports until the cash is reconciled. We need to fix that first. So we just got that fixed today. So that's why I don't have the numbers. There's no problems. Everything's fine. It's just that the cash wasn't adding up to what the revenue and expense reports were saying. That is rare that happens, but it happens. And we had 3 of them this month, which was really throwing everything off. So that's why I don't have them tonight. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
He's it. Shortest statement Brian's ever made in his career here. So that'll take us to committee reports.
Aside from what Mr. Baylor just explained, I have nothing to report.
Sheesh. We don't want to talk. Mr. Holt, planning and zoning.
Yep, and make a motion for an ordinance adopting and enacting Title V, property and business regulations into the village code book of Kansas City, amending the current code.
Second.
By Holt. Pearson second. Ordinance number be 26-02-03.
The last page has the table of contents. I didn't print out the whole document because it's over 100 pages, but we talked about this last time. The liquor, we sharpened and clarified our different, not accounts, but classifications and sub-classifications, and the timing of when you can use them and when you can't use them. The other thing we changed was we aligned ourselves with Peoria County so that people that wanted to get beer on, remember Jeff Sharavalli would always say, on Sunday when I want to watch football, I can't go down to Casey's and buy beer because they couldn't sell it till like 1 o'clock, but Peoria County was 11 o'clock. And so he'd have to drive to Bellevue to get his beer for the football game. So anyway, we just aligned ourselves with Peoria County on that. You all wanted business sign regulations when we started talking about the gas stations, so we built that. We put in that some of these kind of off-color businesses are things that people would have to get approval on if they want to do that.
Sound advertising.
That's people using like sirens or whatever to promote their business.
That's like ice cream truck siren.
Food trucks, we just added a seasonal fee. And then short-term rentals, we added a registration but not a fee. And then property maintenance, trees, all that other stuff, that's all in the residential side. We just added it here as well because it's property and business regulations. So what they can do on their property, those are aligned. And in some cases, they're exactly the same. In others, we just had to modify them a little bit for businesses. So a big picture reminder, Title I is administration. How do we govern ourselves? Title II is building code and zoning, which we haven't finished. Title III is streets, all things streets. Title IV is resident and property. Title V is business and property. Title VI is where those two things cross, where our stuff and their stuff cross. So public works, easements, water, sewer, that kind of stuff. And then Title VII is all the fee structure. So everything's done, but if you approve this, everything's done but Title II. And then we'll get rid of American Legal. And we're just going to build a process. We're already doing it. She just keeps a file of anything we see that we want to change, and she just makes a note, and then we'll probably change it once or twice a year. Just update it ourselves.
And then where are we posting those amendments? We're going to post those to the website then? Post the whole?
So the whole book will be on the website where people can access it, and then we're probably going to choose a few ordinances that we post as well, like because we took the things that change every year, we took out of the code or out of the book, so you don't have to change that every year. So like the water rates, the sewer rates, that kind of stuff. Well, there'll be key ordinances, the budget ordinance, that kind of stuff we'll post. So on the website, you'll have the book, and then you'll have like key ordinances that'll be posted there as well.
And then you'll have to have updated links. So if
correct, so there'll be a process. Anytime something changes, and we're stealing this from West Peoria. You've already met with Kinga, so we know their process because they're doing it already. So anytime there's a change, she'll make the note, and then we'll update it and go from there.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Got a motion by Holt, second by Pearson, excuse me. Hearing none, we will roll call it. It should be Mr. Pearson.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Sidak.
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
And Miller.
Yep.
Motion carried. Anything else under planning and zoning?
Nope.
Sanitary sewer, Mr. Chris Johnson.
I have nothing to report under sanitary sewer. End of report. Would like to move into water. Due to my absence, I have 2 months here of shut-off reports. The following numbers are for January. I have 23 shut-off letters, totaling $6,136.78, 613678. Actual shut-offs, we had 1, 0 in level pay. Total homes in foreclosure is 6, and we sent 0 foreclosure shut-off letters. The approximate gallons sold are 2,109,063, 2,109,063. The following numbers are now for February 2026. Just giving you a moment to catch up. Cool. We sent out 24 shut-off letters, totaling $6,214.21, 621421. Actual shut-offs 1, 2 in level pay, And total homes in foreclosure is 6, with 1 foreclosure shut-off letter sent, totaling $201.23. The approximate gallons sold is 2,383,444. 2,383,444. End of report.
How many shut-off notices? 6,000?
No, that's dollar amount.
Yeah, that's.
February was 24.
CA6 quote, it's not in the deck.
23 for January, 24 for Feb.
She's getting it. That's my fault.
That's it underwater, Chris?
Oh, yep, end of report. Sorry.
I'm just waiting on that, but go ahead. Right, you can do streets and alleys.
CA6 quote, is that for the public works building?
Yeah. So what Roger and Brad have been doing is they've been hauling like their own. We've been hauling rock on occasion and bringing it over for kind of just the general rock stuff. But they want to go ahead and buy the CA6 for the building and that kind of stuff, and get it here and have it ready. So that's what that's for. Oh, pass these around. Yeah, sorry. So the reason they started hauling it is they can do it with their truck, and so it saves the hauling fee at this point. That's why they started hauling the rock and piling it over there on the property. So they've got all the, I guess, general or basic rock. There we got one.
Just general question, is this CM06 white rock, is this the lime white rock that kind of like rinses away and degrades, or is this the higher quality one I've heard about? Do you know?
So this isn't lime rock. Like, this isn't just lime white rock, it's CA6 aggregate.
My understanding is this is the rock that once they put the basic stuff down for the building and stuff, this is the final layer that goes on before you actually put the concrete down.
Yeah, it's compatible.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, white rock with fines.
Yeah.
27 tons?
That rock from J&L's good one.
All right, 80 tons.
So like I said, I give Roger and Brad credit. They've been hauling every week for a couple of months now to get the basic rocks here for the road and that kind of stuff. That way they can do a little bit at a time and they don't have to pay anybody to haul it. They're hauling it on their own stuff. But I think the volume of this was too big for them to haul it. So
yeah.
80 tons, yeah.
Yeah, so this is price trucked in from J&L.
correct. And then they'll have all that on site.
They buy it for about $600.
So that 2775 is with trucking cost.
That's not bad at all.
Unit price is the price of material and delivery.
Yeah, so I make a motion to go ahead and get the rock from J&L Dock, 80 tons for $2,220.
I'll second it.
Motion by Weaver, second by Johnson. Any further discussion, comments?
Well, and maybe more than 8 tons. They're not gonna all exactly 20 tons.
Right, yeah.
Maybe 20 and a half tons. Bring it, or maybe sure. 3 quarters, so.
Depends on what they get in the truck.
I'd say let's add 10% to that.
Contingency.
by approximately 80 tons of CMO6 at a price of $27.75.
So, new motion to change the price to $27.75. Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Oh, we already had a second.
We did. Brad changed the price though before we voted, taking it to $27.75 to have our not to exceed price. So.
Oh, I was gonna say it already was $27.75.
Yeah.
So you're just saying not. Gotcha.
Not
Okay.
to exceed
It won't be exactly
2,725. Is that what we're talking?
They're moved by big tractors.
It's basically got a 10% contingency is what he's saying.
Yeah.
So that would be $220. So not to exceed what
2,000. I'd say just make it 2,500.
Yeah.
Not to
There you go.
exceed 2,500.
Okay. So.
At a per ton price of $27.75. $27.75.
Okay. So now we're at motion to not to exceed $2,500. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
You got in there and snaked you.
All right, so
My bad.
Any further discussion? And we are Johnson,
Yes.
Sidak,
Yes.
Holt,
yes,
Weaver,
Yes.
Miller,
Yep.
Pearson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
That's all I have.
CDC, Mr. Sidak?
Nothing to report. We got some stuff coming in, right? Still got projects
Four
on?
grants so far.
So far.
6. Yep.
All right.
You're right.
That's about that. Have we got anything? Not for Black Sheep. Anybody been to the coffee can too?
I have.
I have.
Twice.
I refuse to go.
It's pretty good.
I hear the food's pretty good. Don't know about the coffee.
I've had both.
I've heard conflicting things about the coffee.
I mean, the coffee was
Of course, I did ask the Black Sheep people about the coffee, so they're probably over it.
Hey, you know they met together.
They what?
They met together. There's a picture on Facebook.
I'm sure. There's
The coffee can people went over to the Black Sheep. Say hi. How you doing?
right on.
so that'll be the black can.
The coffee.
All right, that's in my report.
Mr. Miller?
I don't have anything. I never got any emails or anything.
Got any information on?
I think they should make T-shirts that says "I went to the can in Kansas City."
Okay.
You should sell them that.
Yeah.
You should get some royalties for that.
I did reach out to Brian. I just heard back from them, so I hadn't had that yet. Now you're good. I did reach out to Congressman Sorensen's office again about community project funding. They're still waiting to find out what the House Appropriations Committee is going to do for fiscal year 26 guidelines. So there are a few steps, guidelines here that we can start doing, and hopefully then in 27 they'll actually have some funding because everything's been pretty much cut right now. So, but I also did make a note as far as with the ICC and the issues we've had with the water rate increases too. So, and I'll be reaching out to them again. And I'll get all this to you, Brian.
Perfect.
So, next meeting is March 9th. Anybody else have anything else coming for the board? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, Shauna.